Right now, it's still kind of chilly out there. Temperatures staying in the high
Treasuries
40s.
rose early
Tomorrow's
on Saturday.
forecast
Is a place where teachers can
Trading.
Downtown LA
Houses
expected
traded
to be
modestly.
high,
crazy
but about
stories in the class.
Welcome back to this third week of our Lenten season and our series, Practice Makes Purpose. I'm Pastor Jess Horsley, one of the pastors here at Plattwoods Church, again joined by the amazing Candace Shaw.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, so we are continuing. Last week we talked about setting an intention for this Lenten season and being intentional with a purpose, a driven purpose for why we practice and find meaning in these different spiritual practices. So this third week we are actually going to talk a little bit more about spiritual practices. So really, any activity that turns our attention towards God, having an encounter with or experiencing the divine can be a spiritual practice. And so there are different types of spiritual practices. There are individual spiritual practices. There are communal spiritual practices. There are physical spiritual practices and mental or emotional. All of them can become a practice. This opening question this week I think is interesting. So here you go, Candace. Are you ready? Of all the things that you do regularly, right? So the things you regularly do in your everyday life, which actions or behaviors or rituals do you consider spiritual?
That's a good question because I think we have the tendency to try to separate out what is spiritual from the regular parts of our lives. But a lot of it is intertwined in ways that I think we don't always recognize.
Yeah.
So I think one of my biggest spiritual practices is just noticing things around me, noticing people, noticing needs, and just being aware of the things going on around me.
One of the things that I like to think about that I do regularly, and this sounds strange, but so when you go grocery shopping, right? That can be, every time you go, can be a pilgrimage of sorts. Kind of coming back to the practices that we name here at Plattwoods Church, and pilgrimage as one of those, the places we go, like how we move in the world. And so when I go grocery shopping, or everyone knows I love Walmart, but how we present ourselves, how we engage people, and then we're pretty intentional in our family about buying goods to donate, like canned goods to donate. And we've been a part of that. We've been doing that for a long time. And so making that an intention and having our kids pick things out with us so that they know this is something that we as a family practice together. There's some intentionality in that in our family. And so that's become kind of a ritual for us. So this week, one of the practices that we want to invite you or encourage you to consider as we not only set our intention, but start thinking about the practices, the regular things that we do, is a breath prayer. We know that each and every one of us breathe. And so what better way to incorporate something that all of us do, but to pray when we breathe with our breath. So imagine this and follow along in these steps. A breath care can be practiced literally anywhere at any time. Sitting in your car in traffic, before a test or a big presentation, maybe sitting with your family or before a movie, before a meal even. A breath prayer is simply a time of intentional reflection in and through our breath, inhaling and exhaling. So at this time, you're encouraged to follow these simple instructions. Get comfortable. Find a place that you might be sitting. Put your feet both flat on the floor, your hands possibly on your knees or folded in your lap, whatever feels best for you. Find a pose or position that allows you to breathe deeply. Sit up straight and take a deep breath in and out. Now imagine that you are in a room or a space or a place that is safe for you, your own personal sanctuary. Close your eyes and imagine this place to be real. Put yourself there. Imagine the way that the air feels, the smells, the feeling all around you. Again, breathe in slowly and exhale. Do this for a few moments, over and over and over again, until you have all of the details of this safe space, this sanctuary around you. Now, from in this place, in your sanctuary, enter into a time of reflection, of prayer, of meditation, and on your inhale, speak the first line of your breath prayer. Then, on the exhale, speak the second line. Within your journal are a number of examples, but the beautiful thing about a breath prayer is that any two lines can be a breath prayer. An invitation to simply say, "Holy God, be with me." Or, "Dear Jesus, protect me." Whatever two lines help you to focus and to feel at one with God, to feel God's presence and to practice this spiritual practice, you're invited to now participate in. So again, we invite you to consider jumping into the focus scriptures this week that are shared in your Grow Group journal. And then I would invite you, please, to join me as we close in prayer. Breathe on me, breath of God. Fill me with life anew, that I may love the way you love and do what you would do. Breathe on me, breath of God, until my heart is pure, until my will is one with yours, to do and to endure. Breathe on me, breath of God, so shall I never die, but live with you the perfect life for all eternity. May it be so. Amen.
Amen.
So once again, we invite you to be back here next week for our fourth week of this Lenten series, Practice Makes Purpose. Until then.